Howdy folks, thanks as always for watching. This is just a basic way to think about training, specifically the stress you apply. So sometimes you'll hear arguments of how all you need with training is one set to failure, and then on the other side you'll see training programs that involve things like doing 10 sets of 10, commonly referred to as German volume training. Now, the important thing to understand that we're really talking about is applying stress to the body, and that we are going to recover from our training in a general dose-response model. So if we only do one set, we're going to, if we have our baseline level of performance, cause a decrease, which this is good. We're applying stress the body then has to, in turn, recover from, and then hopefully supercompensate. Now, if we don't train for long enough, we're going to come back to our baseline and possibly regress. Now, let's say we go and we do 2 sets to failure now of that exercise. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to push ourselves down further. So it's going to take us longer to recover back to baseline, but then potentially we're going to get a greater supercompensation because we've done more systemic damage and then have that same comeback to the baseline if we don't train within a given period of time. And then let's say we do now 3 sets to failure. We push ourselves down even further, it takes longer to recover, and then potentially we have a greater performance, and then we come back to that baseline with time. So, if we're just looking at how much you're going to get from your training, we're going to see that it's going to essentially follow this general type of plateau. So 1 set is going to still get you a pretty significant amount of performance increase. Another set after that might net us only an additional 25%, and then 3 sets giving us maybe only an additional 10. Now these are arbitrary units, and you're going to find with individuals, the longer they've trained for, the greater amount of work they're going to need to still make forward progress. But with your ranked beginner, 1 set to failure, or at least a heavy set, is still going to be enough to elicit progress, and it's even going to work for a decent amount of intermediate trainees. But what's important to understand is that if we're trying to be the best athlete we can, we're trying to make the greatest amount of improvement possible, we're going to need to do even more work so that we're going to get that greatest amount of performance increase. So, if you just want to improve and you don't care how fast you're going there and you're trying to save time, yeah, 1 set to failure can be a great type of training modality. But if your goal is to really enhance your performance, you're going to have to do more and more work. And then what becomes even more important as you get adapted to doing the higher volumes of work, of understanding at what point have we now done so much work that we've maybe caused our performance to not improve as much as we could. Anyone can go to the gym and trash their body, do multiple sets to failure, do drop sets, do a bunch of different intensity techniques, but that does not necessarily mean they're going to be able to recover from all of that volume in a period of time that's going to be useful for them to train again, not to mention that they're going to avoid things like injury. So, with time, track your body, track your progress, and figure out how much performance increase you're attaining, and also keep in mind where are you seeing the greatest amount of back off as far as with increases in your performance, and what can you live with. Some folks just want to be in good condition. If you want to be in good shape, you do not need to do hours and hours of heavy squatting, deadlifting, bench press, and so on. But if you want to be a great power lifter, you got to be prepared to do a lot of volume. If you want to be a great Olympic lifter, great at any type of sport, you've got to be prepared to do a lot of volume, and you've got to make sure that you're recovering from that volume. Anyone can go in tomorrow and try and do Michael Phelps' workout, and it's going to tear you to pieces because your body's not used to it. It's too stressful. But anyone can go and just start by swimming a few laps, getting their body to adapt to that stimulus, and then applying some more and more and more. And over time, you're going to find that, yes, you need greater volume to increase your performance, but you can also tolerate greater amounts of work. Thanks as always for watching. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the comments below. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.